We're going to go ahead and have our keynote speaker. This is Charles Kraus, who you just saw working on the PowerPoint. Charles is a new tutor, and as he mentioned, he just finished his training in July. So that's pretty new. But we are excited to see all of the things that he's doing and his enthusiasm. He's going to be talking about launching a new tutoring center at Toberman. So Charles, the floor is yours, or the screen.
All righty. I just want to say how impressed I am with the program and with the training that I received. I really didn't have a whole lot of confidence about being able to teach ESL students, particularly if I didn't know their language well. But also, very shortly after I completed my training, another opportunity presented itself, which was that we were invited to attend a back-to-school conference over at Toberman. Now, it's my understanding in the past that we have gotten referrals from them as an organization. And what we're trying to do here is to start a new relationship with them, which would allow us to use their classrooms and to extend our relationship. So, I hope that's visible to everybody.
I don't see anything.
Not yet. Oh.
Not yet, no.
Not yet. Okay.
Don't have it.
Okay. Let's try.
Did I miss you all talking about Toberman?
Just starting.
We're just starting. If I can get this right here, let's try one more time.
Okay, good.
Okay, let's see here. There we go. Can everybody see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the little slider, Charles, down in the lower right corner?
Yes.
So the slider goes from all the way to minus. Right to the left of that minus is a little icon, and if you click that, it'll go full screen.
Okay.
Just to the left of
Yeah.
Oh,
My full screen now?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I really consider this to be partly a partnership renewal, a new model of working with Toberman, and a way for us to get back into tutoring students face-to-face. They have offered us space to do this, and they have more equipment and resources than we do. And I feel like they're a ideal partner to have because of the similarities between our two organizations. So here's the mission statements for our two organizations. And if you really look at them, you can see that they're both about supporting community. It's about empowering people and trying to change their lives and lift them up. And I think that our two geographies also overlap. Toberman covers San Pedro. We're a little bit wider with the South Bay, but I think this organization offers us two opportunities. One is that we can have use of their classrooms and their equipment. They have the same sort of challenge in that 90% of their clients right now are ESL clients, and they are of all varying levels in what their needs are. And I think that our model of tutoring students to their goals is one that they really appreciate. And I know that I've experienced it myself in a student that I've worked with, that this is a model that works very well for a person who's trying to decide or is trying to navigate a single life challenge, like getting a job, getting their child into school, or whatever that may be, and wants help with Spanish that's directed towards those goals, or English that's directed towards those goals. So the Toberman Center has been around here since 1864. They have a big chunk of real estate inside of San Pedro, about an acre. They've got a gym. They've got after school activities. During the summer, they have like a babysitting and summer types school and activities, which all of which are a big advantage to us if we want to have our students come in and have a safe place to put their children. So I think that's a huge advantage. And while prior to COVID, they were just referring students to us, I think there's an opportunity here to relaunch classrooms out of their facilities there. We do have to meet a few requirements. You have to have a current tuberculosis shot. You have to be vaccinated against COVID, and they do a background check for any volunteers that come on our properties. But I believe that they are still a big opportunity for us, and they certainly appreciate us. Our first event with them was the back to school event, which happened on August 7th in 2021, this year. They invited us in. This is a long time event that I know that we definitely have contributed to this in the past, where backpacks are given out to the kids that are loaded with school supplies and books and pencils and crayons, and they also give out prizes to the kids, and it's pretty popular. But I noticed that this year the backpacks were not as big a draw for their people who were coming in as COVID shots were. They were giving COVID shots that day. And this is COVID testing, and COVID shots has been one of the big services they've been offering out of Toberman. So here we are at our table. I don't know who that tall guy is, but Mary Billings, Gail Taylor were there, and Rob, being the shy one, was also somewhere in the auditorium there. And we signed people up, we passed out literature, and we did get some callbacks from this event. We hope to do more with an upcoming event that is their their fall festival. So this is a great way to contact people in person. But I think that the real opportunity is we go back and start talking about LES students is working with their caseworkers, because the caseworkers know their students well. And I think that I've heard a lot that LES students, there's a big matter of pride to overcome when you're an adult and you're having literacy problems. Whereas if you're working with a caseworker and it's a private meeting, it would be a lot easier for them to suggest, hey, if you really want to move up in your job or you want to take that new position, maybe you need to work with a tutor a little while to improve your literacy skills. With that said, primarily the referrals that we're going to get from Toberman are going to be ESL opportunities, and that's where we're starting right now. Oops. So we began to accept referrals after the August 7th event. We expect that at least 90% of the referrals for tutoring or in-person classes will be ESL instruction. We just this month have formalized a classroom sharing agreement for the multi-purpose room at Toberman Center. The multi-purpose room can be set up classroom style for 40 students, which is probably more than we need right now. But later on, Aaron's going to be talking about the CASAS program. CASAS program has elements of formalized teaching. It also has a program where students can come in and take tests, and they need proctors for those tests. And this would be another place where that could happen if that's something we decide to pursue. The classroom includes chairs, tables, blackboards, whiteboards, and an overhead digital projector. And we propose to begin classroom instruction in November 2021. Still trying to recruit students for that, although I would try and bring 2 students that I already have in, if nothing else, just to meet them and to to get that going. And we feel that the initial offerings will include standard instructions such as English for beginners, but also in conjunction with CASAS may have other seasonal or object-oriented instruction like English for job applicants or English for the citizenship test, as an example. So I just wanted to share an experience that I had with our first referral from Toberman. Zudia came to me and she told me that she had just moved to San Pedro and she wanted to learn more English for her job. She had worked at a Mexican restaurant downtown Los Angeles, and mostly Spanish was spoken there. And she had gotten a new job here in Torrance, and she was struggling with the menu. So after a couple of tutoring sessions about just general ordering and things like that, I asked her to send me the menu from the restaurant where she's working. Well, as it turns out, the menu was from Mimi's restaurant. And one of the reasons why she was having such difficulty with pronouncing the words was because half of them were in French, because Mimi's is a French-themed restaurant. So I have to say, I honestly had to do a little practice on pronouncing things correctly in French, like pain perdu, but I felt like this is a true difference between this organization and some other organizations. You're not going to break out of your Spanish language class to suddenly learn some French. This is just how we have to personalize for each tutor working with each student. But it was a great experience, and it's that first referral out of Toberman. If another on the opposite side of that coin is a recent referral that had been passed on to me by Lainey, where she is taking courses in English at college, but she wants more practice in conversational English. And so there again, we have a specialized niche for persons who are coming in and need tutoring. So it's been, I've been working with Lorenzo over there quite a lot on getting insurance in place and making sure we have the correct agreement, and we're pretty much ready to go at this point. And Lorenzo couldn't come today, but he wants to join us on a future conference. So our next event with them is going to be at their center for their Harvest Festival on October 29th. And we hope to get a few more students there for the beginning of our in-person instruction over at Toberman using their multi-purpose room. And that is what I have. Do I have any questions?
Charles, thank you. Great and exciting information, really, to start being able to get out in person in the community. Now, I'm a little confused here. Is Jim Kelly presenting the Red Apple?
Yes, yes, I think
I
so.
just had one question for Charles about Toberman and the 29th. Is that what are the ESL people doing there? Are we recruiting or something on the 29th?
Oh, yes, we'll be doing recruiting. And what we did last time is we got a list of names, and then we contacted them and put out a mass email to them. And after that, we got our first referral. And again, all of those were ESL. I really feel like we're going to get more of the LES interest from the caseworkers, because caseworkers over there will take a person who comes in and says, I really need to, I'm having trouble getting my child enrolled in school, or I didn't do my taxes, so I didn't get a stimulus check. And so they'll sit down and work with that person. And some of those are really LES students and not ESL students. And it's a perfect opportunity for them to say, I can tell you're struggling with this form. Would you like to get a referral for improving your literacy skill?
Okay. Thanks.
That's terrific.
I have a
Charles,
question
do you
for
have,
Charles, if I
go
could.
ahead.
Charles, the slide that you showed of a room in which you were standing with Mary Billings, is that the multi-purpose room?
That's the gymnasium, and that's a much larger space.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still the multi-purpose room is the equivalent of the largest meeting room that we had up the library district for meetings. And I know that we set that room up for 100 people in chairs or 40 at tables. So it's a large room, it's well equipped, and we could use it for a variety of purposes. And what we've done initially is to set it up for Tuesdays and Thursdays for 2 hours on each day. And so those days are reserved now until further notice. Our agreement with them does say if a conflict comes up and Toberman needs to use one of those rooms on one of those days, that we would use one of their smaller rooms instead. But that is there, and it's ready for us to go today.
Thank you.
That's great. Maureen, did you
So-
have a question on that too?
I had a
Yes.
question. Charles, if I want to get involved at Toberman, how do I do that?
What they're suggesting is that we go ahead and do it through their volunteer portal first, and then I give a heads up email to Lorenzo to let him know that we have a volunteer who's waiting. And then they'll do the normal things they would do for every volunteer, making sure that you have your tuberculosis vaccine and that you have the COVID vaccine. And they do, because there are children on site, they do live scan background checks.
Charles, the event on October 29th, are you looking for volunteers to man an SBLC table, or
I am.
and the times, and what time is the event?
The event is at 4 o'clock. I am looking for volunteers to man the table. I have one volunteer so far, but anybody else would like to come, that would be fantastic.
Would any volunteers respond to you then?
Yes, please. And I have a regular address here on for SBLC. That's CROUSE at sblc.org.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're
Did
welcome.
you say that one again? Were there two C's?
Yes, it's 2 C's to start it.
Okay.
C's,
Charles Kraus.
ROUSE?
yeah,
At.
ROUSE.
that's part is like house or mouse.
Charles,
Yes.
is that the way to reach you? Like if I want to volunteer for the 29th?
That would be the best way to reach me, yes.
Okay, I like to volunteer.
Oh, fantastic. Great.
We've got this in the chat. Does that look correct, Charles?
It's
I'm not seeing the
spelled out.
chat.
southbayliteracy.org though, right? Not sure.
SBLC.org.
Oh, you want this in the whole,
Yeah,
yeah,
so it's
okay.
Kraus at southbayliteracy.org.
Yes.
Okay. I'll have to redo this. See.
It's also my slideshow. I'd be glad to send that out to anybody who wanted to.
Okay. Great. All right, any other, sorry?
Where is Toberman Center located?
It's on 1st Street and I forget what the cross street is in San Pedro. So as you're coming into San Pedro and you get on Gaffey Street, you turn left and it's like the 2 blocks down on your right-hand side. It's a great big building. It's hard to miss. I think it's 1st and Grand Street.
Okay. Thank you so much, Charles. Any other questions? You now have Charles's email. You can communicate with him or use the chat, or we'll have a little bit of time for more questions at the end of our session today.